Welcome back to Whitt Acres. Today we're heading up to the pergola garden to tackle yet another piece of the spring garden cleanup. We have another rain day here today, and the guys has been going off a lot now that we have a lot of water in the ground. The field is completely saturated and the duck pond out there is overflowing. It really can't hold any more water. But we left off in last video getting all the black mulch down here around the pond gardens, and it's really making me feel like spring is here now. Hump up. And with all this water, everything is really starting to green up here. Next week's actually supposed to drop down into the 20s again. And I'm not going to want to do too much when it's that cold. And after this cold snap, these flowers aren't going to be as pretty as they are now. So I'm glad we got this warm week. And even my favorite daffodil got to bloom. Gorgeous. But there is a lot of new growth happening at the pergola garden, so we have to get up there and get some work done as well. And I also need to pick up some more mulch to finish up against this driveway area here, but we're not going to be doing that with the cold coming this week. Hopefully we keep some blooms. Thanks, Rooster. The Cleveland pears are blooming. But there is a lot of work to be done up here at the pergola garden. We have to get the 4 main vines on the front post pruned back here and that ornamental grass cut down. On the left post here we have the red trumpet vine. On the front left post is sweet autumn clematis. We have the honeysuckle on the front right post, and I am planning on expanding its trellis. But then we have the big archway here for the silver lace vine. The birds love it up here. Huh, bud? Taking that home? Okay. We have a couple homegrown gourd houses up here for the birds. One on the right, I think they're all occupied. One on the left. And then we have one up in the hemlock tree as well. I don't know if anybody moved into that one yet. But we have some perennials up here that need pruned back, cut down, and cleaned up. These old sunflowers in the front, all 4 of the vines. We also have to do this ornamental grass, get all these stalks out of here. We have the Amsonia that can get cut back as well. Hopefully that's alive. The lilies right behind it are already coming up, and a tulip. Oh, but that ground cover is not a good sign. But the viburnum's almost blooming. Beautiful. The firelight hydrangea here is going to need pruned back, and so are these Shasta daisies down in this row. But we already have some of the daffodils blooming here. These are my second favorite daffodils and my first favorite hyacinth. Gorgeous. What are you doing over there? What are you doing? You do you. And as you can see, we also need to straighten out this brick edging. It's gotten a little bit wonky since I put it in. What are you doing? Where are you going with that? Hump up. Probably not still in there. Alright, you do you. But after we get everything cleaned up, we can get some fresh wood chips down. We only have a small area here we might have to pull some weeds out. Overall, it doesn't look bad. What are you working on over here, Pop? Is it a rabbit's nest? Trying to play with the bunnies. Chipmunk? What'd you find? Oh, I didn't see this one blooming. We got a little peach hyacinth here. Gorgeous. And our lilac bush over here is alive. Hopefully it actually blooms this year. It's pretty young, so maybe it won't yet. But we also have some of the hostas starting to come up though. And some weeds encroaching on the bed. What are you doing, bud? You're gonna hurt your mouth. Let me see. No, oh. Someone in there? Just debris? No one running? He's not in there anymore, pup. It was just a runway. Past tense. Come on. We got a lot of works to do. I don't have any fresh wood chips right now. I'm waiting for the local arborist to drop off a new batch. So we're just gonna be working on the cleanup today, get everything ready for the mulch, and then once a fresh load of mulch does show up, I can get that down, even if it's cold by then. But we have new stuff starting to grow, so we have to get the old stuff out of the way. Pop. Why are you bothering them? We're not taking all that apart, Pop. We gotta get started. Oh, did you get them? Did you find them? What are you doing? Is that a weed? You're biting at a weed? You don't want that. That's poison. You don't want to eat that. That's periwinkle vine. What are you doing? Silly pup. Don't mess with the crepe myrtle. Oh, Pop, what are you doing? That was just a crow, bud. Oh, I messed up your nap. Those birds. I hear ya. I hear ya. Alright, we're making progress out here on the front of the pergola. I didn't get to the back yet, but we have a lot of work to do on the front here. So we're getting everything pruned back here and all raked clean. We have everything piled up on the outside. I'll get taken down to the compost in the wheelbarrow. Fresh water, huh, Pop? All for you. Huh, buddy? But I think this is looking better with everything cut back here. I'm going to get these piles cleaned up, and then I actually need to go on top of the pergola and finish pruning the silver lace vine. The silver lace vine is one of the fastest growing vines in the world, so I'm trying to give it a little bit more space than the other vines, which are almost equally as fast growing. But I gave the silver lace vine an archway here, and I also gave it the whole side of the pergola so it can cover this up quickly in the spring, and that gives a better blockade to the neighbors. Anybody living in here? You got feathers? Any beaks? Hello in there. I don't see anybody moving. They might have eggs though. But you can see we got a lot of growth on the top of the pergola here from last year. So I need to get this pruned back and managed. We can't have it taking over the whole pergola top. I'm using this for the gourds. And we're gonna have gourds this year. Oh, the geyser. Gorgeous. So I'm going to go up top here and get this pruned back. We do have a little bit back behind the pergola here to clean up, some old volunteer sunflowers and some dahlias that I didn't dig up in the fall. But the weeds aren't too bad back here, so I'm just going to sweep off the paths and get everything ready for the mulch. And maybe a little bit of cleanup next to the building here. It's so hard to get a good angle on these Cleveland pears without looking at a house. All right, we can get a little bit more done here. All right, pup, we're getting all wet. We can't play now. But look at the pergola garden now. We're making some good progress. I got the wheelbarrow all filled up again. We'll take that down to the compost, but mostly everything is all pruned back here and raked clean, looking ready for some fresh mulch. I got all the pathways swept back here and they're looking really good. They are lasting here because they're oil covered boards. All of these boards actually come from the fence that was around the property whenever my parents first bought it. And they're still getting a good use around here. Looking good too. But we got everything pruned back and cleaned up and ready for fresh mulch. And I am gonna wait for a fresh batch of mulch. I don't wanna use everything that's already out there in the pile. So once that load of mulch comes, we'll get everything freshened up here. But the rain's starting and that's gonna be all for this one. I know this was a short video, but we're just trying to poke away here at the gardens, getting them all ready here as spring comes together. If you wanna keep following along with everything here at Whitt Acres, make sure to subscribe down below, hit that like button before you leave, and you can see me and Echo on the next one. Thanks for watching.